put down that scone. Put it down. It's poison. Don't eat that scone.
What?
Because
The scone, I already ate it.
No, okay, now we need to rush you over to an episode of Riverdale Season 6 and get you some salt and some water so we can get that poison out of you, because that's all it'll take. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Riverdale Season 6. I'm Omar and Sara.
I'm Sarah Kaplan, and Omar, yet again, I'm so excited to talk about Riverdale Season 6 with you, arguably the best season of television ever made.
Oh, we're back. We're back. We had a couple days off, but we're back. We had the exact amount of days that we have in between episodes off this one, but this one felt extra special to me. I missed you a lot. I was like, I don't know. The days in between just felt empty and hollow.
I agree. It feels like the time when we're not all together talking about Riverdale Season 6. Everything is just damp and chilly.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And,
well, let's get out of that damp and get into a warm, cozy episode, shall we?
Oh, I can't wait. And we have a very special guest today, Omar.
Oh, okay. We have a guest this week.
We do. Yeah, it's a surprise because we have a guest every week. But this week we also have a guest. And you might know her, listener, from her stand-up comedy that she performs all around Los Angeles. If you're even cooler, you might know her from the indie musical improv scene. And if you don't live in LA and frequent the comedy world, you might know she's all over the Instagrams and such things, doing comedy and potentially resurrecting the long-lost soul of her lesbian witch lover into the corpse of a woman she's kidnapped.
Yeah,
it's Harper-Rose.
Wow, it's me. Hi, guys.
Hi, Harper-Rose.
Yes. Okay, wow.
How are you?
How's it going? How you doing? How you feeling about that intro?
Now that I heard that intro.
Yeah, good.
Literally.
Harper, you're a comedian.
Unfortunately, that is true.
You know a thing or two about jokes.
It's on a good day, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say as a result that makes you also an equal expert in drama?
Oh, yes.
Like, I'm talking like Shakespeare. I'm talking Arthur Miller.
Ooh.
Well, I think doing stand-up is in itself a tragedy, so I would have to say yes.
Yeah, that's so true. So you probably are one of the best equipped people then to help us analyze what I would argue is the modern Shakespeare, Riverdale Season 6.
Yes. No, because I've always kind of said that.
Yeah.
Have you seen Riverdale before?
Yes. And that's also why I'm so stoked that y'all are doing this podcast, because back in the day, you guys, I was in a really bad relationship when this show first came out, overshare. And I would just please. I would hyper fixate on this show.
Oh, so the show's like, okay, yeah.
How much of Riverdale have you seen?
What?
Omar, we'll edit that little confusion out. Omar, you can go. Azzy from the future, don't fucking forget.
So this show is like a safe place for you. This is like a safe show for you. Like this, like I have a couple safe shows that I'm just like, when things are really bad, I'll throw on like the Impossible Planet and Satan Pit from Doctor Who. Like this is kind of, yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
It's like, I would say it's a guilty pleasure, but I don't even feel guilty about it. Like I own it.
No.
When it directly first came out, was I a hater? Unfortunately, that is true. I was like, what is this bug shit? What's going on? But then it turned. It went from like mocking to just like wholeheartedly enjoying.
How much of the show have you seen?
Okay, so I've never seen the finale, and I'll be honest about that. But
have you seen Season 6?
I have.
Oh my God, I forgot to ask you the most important question for filtering guests for this podcast. Did I not ask you if you'd seen Season 6?
You have. No, you didn't actually.
Oh my God.
Guess what? I literally have. Also, a fun little fact that I just think is kind of nice. For whatever reason, and I have seen this episode, so everything's all good. But for whatever reason, I thought you had asked me to watch Season 2, Episode 9. So I had just done like so I was like, okay, let me watch that. But you know what? I'm tapped in. I'm ready to go.
I love
and we
that,
can get into
actually.
it.
Okay, I think the combination of you watching the wrong season's episode 9 with you having previously seen this season, I assume some years ago,
Mhm.
actually is the perfect combination for this recording. And audience, I'm gonna talk to you directly for a second here.
Okay, break the fourth wall.
Conservatives, cover your ears.
Mhm.
Not because I'm going to say anything political. I just don't like you.
Mhm.
Audience, I know that we sort of set up the premise that every guest on this show is someone who'd never seen Riverdale Season 6 and was watching this episode for the first time with us. However, you can't fucking tell us what to do. And as Ralph Waldo Emerson said, consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds. So open up your fucking mind, get those hobgoblins out of those little cranial crevices, and let's have a fun-ass episode with our friend Harper-Rose.
Can we do that? Can we please do that, audience?
Thank you. And we're not going to do it just the three of us, of course, because Harper-Rose, we're also joined by our lovely producer, Azriel. Hi, Azzy.
Hello, Sarah. Hi. Yeah, wow, what an episode. What a thing to talk about. And honestly, I'm excited about this new energy that we're bringing to the podcast.
It's great. Look, last episode, Giovanni came in hot and said, I hate this show, and we barely talked about it at all. And this week...
That is so funny. That is so funny. Okay,
it was great.
It's kind of like Lawless.
This podcast,
absolutely.
Okay, this podcast tries to embody the philosophy of the writer's room of Riverdale Season 6. The first idea is the best idea. Follow the fun, never question yourself, and commit hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Harper-Rose, if you're like, this is now a season 2 show, that is now reality. That is now truth.
We just I make you guys do a recap.
That's fine. We can jump into a pocket universe of this podcast. Riverdale Season 2 pod.
The thing about me is you can write out as many directions as you want. You can tell it to me 15 times, and I'm gonna do my best. And then somehow I'm still gonna do it wrong. And that's just kind of an important part of my lore.
That's something we all love about you and never change.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? The sad part is I really am trying, but apparently the cake's already been so.
No, it's good. It's good. It means that like someone who's a carrier for sickle cell anemia has an innate genetic resistance to malaria. You seem to have an inborn physiological resistance to being subsumed into the arbitrary rules of the game that capitalism has forced us to play.
Wow.
And I love that for you. You're like the protagonist of a YA dystopia series. You're the divergent. You're the giver. You are the exact person we need on this podcast.
Okay, finally a place where I belong.
Yes. But since you haven't rewatched season 6, episode 9 in a while, if you do have any questions about it, conveniently, every episode of this podcast consists of one segment called Ask Azzy, where at any time, if you have a question about Riverdale lore or about an actor or literally anything you want, you can ask Azzy to Google it for you, and you don't have to do anything. We make your life easy here.
Wow. Okay, what a dream.
Yeah, she's a living embodiment of the film desk set.
I laugh, but I don't know what that is.
We got a note last week that we weren't making enough references to Katharine Hepburn movies, so I had to take that note to heart.
What's going on? Okay, I can't. Well, wait. So, which one of you? Okay, so do y'all actually like Riverdale?
We love Riverdale. Azzy's never seen it. Azzy's watching Riverdale Season 6 for the first time, episode by episode with this podcast, and she's not seen seasons 1 through 5.
I've seen season 1. I saw season 1.
She's seen season 1.
I haven't seen anything between the end of season 1 and season 6.
Okay.
And Omar and I love Riverdale. We're genuine fans.
Yes.
Genuine fans. Okay. And I honestly love that. But okay, maybe I'm wrong, but how do y'all feel about this? I feel like, honestly, the way that you're doing it is correct. Like, I feel like you could just go season 1 and then just hop right into season 6.
Yeah.
And
no.
It kind of adds up.
Season 6,
a great time.
Season 6
linear.
It's its own thing. And the reason, okay, I had this idea for this podcast a long time ago because I was watching Riverdale Season 6. And I loved it so much. I needed to share it. And I started playing it for my friends on Discord. And they were like, but we've never seen Riverdale. And I was like, I promise you it doesn't matter. Just watch this with me. And I had a group of like 8 or 9 people, and we would convene every night and watch episodes of this season together. And they'd never seen the show. And it was amazing. And I was like,
it brings people together.
It brings people
It
together.
really does.
It's true art.
Yeah.
And I just want, listener, I'm so thankful you're letting us shepherd you into this aesthetic wonderland.
Thank you. Truly, we take this responsible very seriously. Could you excuse me 1 second? The puppy I'm watching has gotten to 2 of my toothbrushes, and I do need to get them back from her. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh no, Puppaville Pickens is causing trouble again in Omardale.
All right.
So, Harper-Rose.
Okay, I'm back with both toothbrushes.
Okay.
Harper-Rose, I have a question for you.
Oh, heavens. Yes.
Since you're a member of the Council of Four and the Serpent Queen, do you ever wonder if maybe that's a conflict of interest?
Ooh. You know, it's crossed my mind once or twice
Yeah.
since you just posed the question. I think you're correct in that.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward actually when it's pointed out.
No, it actually is. I just leave. Okay.
How very forthcoming of you that you were just like, well, you know what, actually.
Well, now that that's settled, would you tell me, if I asked you, would you say that you feel like there's anything weird going on in Riverdale? I mean, besides Jughead, Betty, and Archie developing mutant abilities.
Aside from that.
Okay, I forgot that they developed that. That just pissed me off. Wait.
Oh my God, okay. Harper-Rose, I'm so glad you're our guest.
Well, we're only going to talk about it briefly in this episode. Don't worry, it's a blip, if anything.
The superpowers? Yeah, they're hardly relevant.
There won't be more. There won't be more characters that also develop them in the next little span of time.
Okay, by season 6, Nana Rose is still there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, wait, what?
I'm gonna set you up for where we are. I'm gonna remind you.
Okay, please remind me.
We've already had Rivervale. We've already had Archie being sacrificed. We've already had Cheryl cutting his still beating heart out of his chest. We've had La Llorona. We've had the devil making deals.
Mm-hmm.
We've had all kinds of chicanery.
Mm-hmm. This all sounds familiar, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And now there's this British guy, Percival Pickens, causing trouble in town.
Okay.
He published a mean article about Riverdale. He's showing up at town council meetings. And get this, he has mind control powers, and he got all the houseless people to leave Sketch Alley.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dare I say, I am daring to say this. Does it not sound like a chaotically bad but endearing improv show?
100% it does. Yeah, 100% it does.
Just had to say it.
As someone who dabbles in both improv and in scripted, to be able to script a chaotic improv show is a very beautiful talent. For that to go through series of notes and to be washed through and to get it would be like taking gold and washing it enough times that it's like you've turned this to silt. Is that right? No, that doesn't make sense.
Silt?
Well,
that would be bad.
That's really bold of you to believe that they went through a series of notes, because from
Oh God!
Well, I love that because in that presentation, it's folks are just like, here's the script, and the studio's like, no notes again. Week 9 knocked it out of the park. This is just perfect. Yeah. First idea, best idea. Thank you so much. Should we break for lunch at 8 a.m? Because we're done. We're done for the day.
This is what happens when you give every kid a trophy growing up. It's like that mentality, and then you just put it into the writer's room.
And speaking of the writers, they really knocked it out of the park with the character of Abigail Blossom this episode, the witch possessing Cheryl's body. She had some amazing lines. When Betty asks her if Percival Pickens has stopped by, she says, "Yes, but I was taking a buttermilk bath."
Yes.
The return of buttermilk.
What a good detail.
Oh, it is the return of buttermilk.
It's the return of buttermilk. Stoke the fires and heat the ovens, Britannia. We're preparing arsenic-laced scones.
Oh.
What a good line. What a good fucking line.
That line.
You missed that line? What a good line.
I missed that line. Wow.
What do
You and me both. But
What do you think of
I
that
know-
line, Harper-Rose?
I want to like embroider that line.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's really beautiful. Yeah, I would love to have that on a throw.
Right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Get in. We're preparing arsenic-laced scones.
Yeah. Merch?
Yeah.
Come on.
So
Oh my
to
God,
follow sort of
yes.
that motivation plot line, Abigail's going after her assassins or would-be assassins or previous assassins.
She's going after the descendants of the three people who led the town of Riverdale in burning her at the stake in the 1890s.
That's right. Okay, yes. Which is unfortunate, and we need to stop as a practice in America.
Burning people at the stake?
Yeah, I'll
I'm
go ahead and
actually-
take...
I'm going to
Mhm.
disagree with you there. I'm going to take the
Interesting.
controversial stand that, like, sure, it's a barbaric practice that maybe
Yeah.
we should be hesitant to employ, but what do you
Mhm.
do if one of your best friends has been possessed by an ancestral witch from her
You know
family
what?
lineage?
That's a great point. That me painting with a wide brush,
Yeah.
I would have caused a legal conundrum for our best friends, Betty, Archie, and Jughead. They would, and Nana Rose. They would not be able to burn Abigail Blossom at the stake in order to try to return the near immortal soul of Cheryl.
Yeah. How do you feel about
Yeah.
that, Harper-Rose?
Enthralled is a word that's coming to me. I also just want to say that I think by season 6, the actors that play Jughead and Betty, they weren't dating anymore. So I love a good drama,
Mhm.
behind the scenes as well as on the scene.
Mhm.
What you get it what I'm saying, but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think that's at the end of the day, that's jazz, baby. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's jazz. That's
Can I ask
fun.
you a question? Sort of in terms of the on-screen, off-screen, will they, won't they of it all. The will they, won't they I'm referring to is, will Archie be poisoned by the arsenic or not? Do you think unbreakable skin extends to poisoning as well?
No. Just from my dusty, crusty memory, no.
Unfortunately, you are wrong.
But
But
and that's why I would never be a writer on Riverdale.
but I do think having invulnerable, impenetrable skin and super strength should not protect you from arsenic.
I would think, but also love and light to the man. Like, good for him for acquiring that.
Yeah, maybe that wasn't a New Mutant power. Like, maybe, I know he says like, well, I'm impenetrable or whatever, but maybe he's like, also, I am immune to arsenic as a character trait.
Well, we know that Bingo has rapid healing. Bingo's Archie's dog.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's part of it. Like, he just heals so rapidly that his skin is always healing any tiny penetrations, and that's why it's impenetrable.
Oh,
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's actually a really scientific explanation now that you mention it.
wow. Did
I
y'all
will say
read
though,
the actual comics?
did we
Like the
read
Riverdale
comics?
comics?
Yeah.
I did not.
I have
Oh.
not. Have you?
I guess you guys aren't. I guess y'all aren't real ones. Okay. No. I used to like. Oh my God, I would babysit and I would save up so I could specifically go to the store and get the comics.
Mhm.
Okay.
Really?
Some of my lore. Yeah.
Wait, did you
unfortunately,
grow up in the 60s?
After
Grew up in
5
North
weeks, I had
Carolina,
7 cents.
So kind of. Yeah.
You grew up in North Carolina?
Yeah, for most of it. And comics, that's where it was at.
That's
Are
awesome.
those are probably worth some money now, right?
It would have been really smart if I kept them.
Oh,
I discovered what drugs were, and so I said, "Y'all got to go."
The
Oh,
comics.
Yeah.
there was only room for one in
Yeah.
this
Only
town.
room for one.
I
There's only room for one.
assume your drug of choice was Jingle Jangle.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. That's so quaint of you. That
How did-
backstory. I love it so much.
You traded your comic books for drugs. How did you
I was
get
like,
rid of them?
hardcore now. What?
How did you get rid of the comics? Like, how did they come to be out of your possession?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I just took a trash bag and everything that I didn't find hot anymore, I just threw in the bag.
Oh,
And,
no.
oh no.
Yeah, no. This story got dark, but anyway,
it's okay. I feel you. I had a whole binder full of like first edition, first run Pokemon cards, and they're just gone. I don't know where they are.
No.
Oh my god.
Worth thousands of dollars.
Oh,
Because I
shit.
remember some of the cards. I did have a Charizard. Like there's shit in there.
A nice shiny Charizard or something like that.
Yeah, I did. That shit's just
Oh
all
my
gone.
I
You
have,
can't trust 6-year-olds with toys that might be worth something someday.
Yeah.
It's almost like true. That's crazy.
You know what's really difficult about this? And this might lead to a quick Ask Gazzy segment or a part of the ongoing segment that runs the entire extent of the episode. But I am on the other side of this, where as a younger person, I was like, ooh, I'm into collecting comics. I am going to make a fortune. And I collected like Cable comics 1 through like 56. And I have them all bagged and boarded. I don't think anything that I put effort into is worth. I think
Can
it's
I-
depreciated in
Can
value.
I be honest with you, Omar?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't know what Cable Comics is.
Oh, so Kate. Oh, this is gonna take a while to explain. Do you know the X-Men character Cable?
No.
No.
Okay, so
What's his
how does
power?
it-
What's his
how does
power?
it-
I might recognize him from his power.
Where do we start with the technovirus? Do we start with
Oh.
Nathaniel Essex, aka Mr. Sinister?
Okay, this is
Do-
gonna have to be a whole separate pod, Omar. Omar explains the Cable Comics universe. Will
Do
be
we
a
start with
separate
Madeline
episode.
Pryor? What? Where do we go? Where do we
Oh.
start,
It
Azzy?
still sounds like you're talking about Riverdale. So me
It really
thinks
does.
within the writer's room.
And speaking of Riverdale, first I want to note those scones looked fucking bomb.
Yes,
They made
I
me
understand why
so
Archie was like
hungry.
just,
Yeah,
in soft focus.
for him.
Yeah,
He destroyed those
he
things.
just
Yeah.
housed that scone. I also want to applaud Abigail Blossom. I love the
Mhm.
nickname Dearest Jug Jug. I don't think anyone's
Yeah.
referred to
Here's
Jughead.
Jug. Yeah, that's fine.
good. That's good stuff.
Mhm.
Followed by another favorite moment from the episode. Betty sees the red aura around Cheryl/Abigail
Yes.
and says,
Mhm.
"Are you trying to poison me? Did you put poison in those scones?" And Abigail's response is just to go, "Ugh," and turn around and walk out.
What was the rest of her plan? She was just like, oh, whatever, I tried. My conspiracy is done. Can I say really quickly, Jug Jug, great ship name for the two Jugheads, the writer Jughead and narrator
Yes.
Jughead.
Oh my god. Wait a second. Why have they not fucked yet?
Yeah, that's a good question.
The two Reggies immediately answered the fuck your clone or kill your clone conundrum, and they killed each other.
Yeah.
Why have the Jugheads done neither?
Yeah.
Mm.
Harper-Rose, why do you think that is?
They're weak.
Harper-Rose,
That's just kind of where it's at.
yeah. Would you fuck your clone or kill your clone?
Well, I think the obvious answer is to fuck then kill.
I see.
Yeah. I'm glad it's not the other way around.
Yeah.
No. No.
No, sorry.
Not
This
at
is-
all.
This is not a necrophilia podcast.
No.
No.
But it honestly could be. No, but okay, Sarah Rose, what would you do?
I would obviously try to fuck my clone, and then we'd
Mhm.
both, it would be an and they were both bottoms situation.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then we'd both end up we'd have like a feedback loop of genital dysphoria, and we'd both be crying by the end of the night.
Oh.
Y'all would like really bond.
We could bond. Yeah, no. My clone and I yeah, I'm questioning the fuck clone dichotomy, the fuck kill sex clone dichotomy.
Mhm.
We wouldn't do either.
Yeah.
We would probably do some two-prov. That's what sounds fun to me.
That's a great idea.
We'd start a musical
Away.
two-prov team. We would have some jam sessions on our synths,
Mhm.
and
Would it be? Do you run the risk of kind of like when two martial artists who have trained exactly the same are fighting and they both do the exact same moves at the exact same time?
That
Yeah.
would be kind of fun to watch. No, I mean, I think my best for the two-prov team, I start with my clone.
Yeah.
I think like best case scenario
Mhm.
would be Zach Reno and Jess McKenna level
mhm.
of group mind.
Yeah.
I don't think even me and my clone could ever be as in sync as Zach and Jess are when they're improvising together.
Yeah.
But I think it would be my best shot to ever have that relationship.
I love that.
Yeah. How about you, Omar? You're ace, so I don't think you would fuck your clone.
Yeah, it would definitely be out of character for us, but I mean, like, maybe this is, maybe this is, there's always an exception, and
Yeah.
maybe it'll turn out that the ultimate narcissism is kind of,
I like that
is
for
kind
you.
of the one.
Wow, this is a cool study.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Actually,
Yeah.
I think I know what you would do with your clone, Omar.
What's that?
Well, Omar, don't you have a one-on-one D&D live stream you do or you're starting?
It would 100% be two GMs,
Wow.
two players, two people, and yeah, we would just play. We would both play, both play rogues, and we would just constantly just sneak attack, and then it would be the least interesting. Like it would be. I think we would take away from the world. Like it wouldn't be like a fun, exciting thing. I think that our ideas of pranks would be like I would go buy a ticket for Bad Boys 4, not called Bad Boys for Life for some reason, but just Bad Boys 4, and then my clone would then come in to be like, hey, remember me? I had a ticket. Can you give it to me? And then we would laugh and we'd be like, this is probably a new experience. And they'd be like, well, no, you're twins. And then we'd realize that it's not
Not
like
that interesting.
Created,
It's not going to blow people's minds.
Yeah. No, but we probably play D&D realistically.
Think about it. That's real intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And as
Whoa.
that is real intimacy. And you know what?
Redefinition. Mhm.
D&D might be another name for gay sex.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Azzy, I'm sorry, Azrael, you're too young to answer this question.
Okay.
Young are you?
Azzy,
20.
Azzy's 20.
Wow.
Azzy's an adult. But
Okay.
Yeah.
but Azzy, what would you do with your clone? What do you think your bonding activity? I'd do improv. Omar would play D&D.
So like my first instinct would be like when I was much younger,
Mhm.
when I was like 8,
Mhm.
and I was I had a trampoline in our backyard.
Mhm.
I would act out wrestling matches just by myself.
Of course you would wrestle yourself.
You were that
So
kid.
I'm like,
You were that
kid.
Azzy, that's the most small town Ohio thing I've ever heard you say.
Oh my God. Wait, are you from Ohio?
I am, yeah.
We're in Ohio. I used to live in Huber Heights and Dayton.
Oh wow. No, I'm in Columbus.
Okay.
Oh, what was the tone there? Can we investigate that before we hop back
That was
into our
some
plot
elitist-
summary?
That was some elitist shit right there.
It wasn't. It was more. I am just
Harper-Rose,
embarrassed
I'm
of
sorry.
being here in general.
I'm sorry. You can't be elitist about being from anywhere in Ohio.
It's true. No, I almost mentioned a more specific area, and then I was like, I should probably not do that.
Yeah, don't tell
Mhm.
people where you live. Don't tell people.
Yeah. So don't worry. No elitism. Just
Reminder to edit out
mutual
Mary Lou
embarrassment.
telling the audience exactly where she lives.
Oh yeah, I
like to
already- I
the
got
corner
that.
block.
That was really awesome.
Okay.
Yeah,
no,
I'd be like a tag team. I'd be like a tag team wrestling duo.
that is, I think, the best answer actually. And Harper-Rose, you had to answer when we were still suffering from the false fuck kill dichotomy. But what would you
Yeah.
actually like to do with your clone?
Wow. I mean, y'all all went so creative. Unfortunately, I just wow. I mean, I will tie-dye with my clone in
Tie-dye.
silence.
That's
Be on a
fun.
kiss of mushrooms,
Okay.
and that's that.
Yeah, I love
Nice.
that. Look, two people who can be comfortable in silence together. That's how you know you have a real bond.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Parallel play.
So true.
Which is why we talk nonstop on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, Harper-Rose, I didn't mean to reference some of the comedy you do, but you do. I'm always seeing you posting videos that have like parallel play. That's an account of a person you do sketches with, or
Okay, so I do a podcast with my roommate, and then I do like a little interesting digital footprint videos with my other roommate, Kate. Other just little things.
and
This is a creative house. This is a creative house you
very
got.
creative house.
Honey, it's a haunted house in here.
Okay.
And sure, are we all in our 30s? Okay, who's asking?
Hey, everyone on this podcast except for Azzy, I think, is in their 30s.
Mhm.
Okay, cute.
That's when you're finally like self-assured enough and mature enough to realize that what you really want to spend your time doing is talking about Riverdale Season 6, the best season of television ever made.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not trying to impress people.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Dan Leppert's prediction, the titular Dan Lippert prediction award, but not really an award, it's just a prediction.
It's a prediction.
Has sort of come true.
Can you remind remind the listeners of what his prediction
Dan
was?
Leppert's prediction was that
Wait,
Archie...
Azzy, I'm gonna have you tell us here, but could we do a fun thing where we edit in the sound clip of Dan Lippert making his prediction?
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I'd like to see Archie and Betty and Jughead and the dog kind of form their own Riverdale Justice League and take on Nana and Abigail.
I'd say he gets a full 17 points for that one, though. I think that's starting to come true. Yeah. Thank you for that reminder.
They
I'd
gather
forgotten about his
together.
prediction.
Yeah, and on the podcast, when you heard that wonderful editing of a previous clip, I hope you, I'll put my Venmo, send me $5.
I'm gonna make a cool little audio sting of like, Dan Lippert predict.
Can I just say something really quick?
Please.
Yeah.
To the group. I just want to say I literally got on Reddit and just started reminding myself of what happened on this episode. And
Oh, nice.
it's crazy, y'all.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, how about, would you
I
care
just
to...
didn't want y'all to think I was being rude.
No.
Yeah.
No. Would you care to give us like a
reflection.
best hits of like what you're looking at? Like maybe
what's
just
what's
what's
jumping
jumping out at you?
And I literally would. Okay. So someone said, and this got really strongly upvoted, Kevin needs another storyline other than easily manipulated. And then
Every
someone
season,
said,
every fucking season.
more on that. And then someone said, at this point, they should just change the name of his character from Kevin to Minion.
Oh my god.
Oh.
And it would be a really good tie-in with Despicable Me. So that's not a bad idea.
Oh my god.
Can you credit the
Brucible
Reddit user?
Pickens?
Wait, what?
What Reddit user posted that?
Well, the first one is deleted. And then the second one is Born Ashes.
Okay.
So,
Thank you so much, Reddit user. Did you say horn ashes?
Born Ashes. Like
Born ashes.
Like a phoenix. You're born
like
ashes.
a phoenix,
Born.
kind of reborn
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the fire. Maybe as someone with pyrokinetic
Some
abilities.
foreshadowing,
Interesting.
maybe.
Yeah, I love that.
I wonder if that's Cheryl.
It could be
On Reddit.
Cheryl. That's Cheryl on
Yeah.
Reddit, obviously. No, that's Kevin. That's Kevin
Yeah.
being like, why won't they write me a stronger part?
Why
Why does the gay guy have to always play the fucking cop?
Mm-hmm.
always. But okay, so don't you think, okay, so I've heard this happening on other shows where if actors piss off the writers will purposely just bludgeon their character's storyline. Maybe
Yeah.
Kev made a misstep
Possible. Omar, I think
IRL, and the writers went, uh-oh.
you're
Oh,
our
no.
insider into that world. Have you ever punished an actor through writing?
I would say that all of my writing is punishment to my actors.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you feeling okay, buddy?
Me? Oh, very good. I'm just choking on my tears 1 second.
Wow.
Cool. Well, while you're getting over that just brutal fit of sobs, sorry if you can hear Omar sobbing. Harper-Rose, let's say I'm gonna walk you through a scenario here.
Mhm.
Okay, please.
You're the Serpent Queen,
Yeah.
and you're raising a baby with your boyfriend. Let's call him Fangs,
Yeah. Hypothetically.
hypothetically, and
course.
not just any baby. You're raising a baby Anthony. And some cops bust down your door and say they're searching for illegal weapons. And of course, you say, we don't have illegal weapons here. And then they find a giant duffel bag full of loose, illegal automatic rifles.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
God. Horny is the word that's coming to me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Correct answer. Correct answer.
That's right. That's actually, you got the answer correct.
Yeah. Thank you. Next question. Let's go.
Okay, next question. Great, yeah. Next question. All right, let's say instead you're a 140-year-old witch who's been sort of reincarnated in the body of your great-great-great-granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're trying to, I don't know, resurrect the soul of your long-dead lesbian witch lover, maybe into the body of her descendant, Tony Topaz, who, for the sake of argument, you were just being in the previous hypothetical scenario.
Cool.
And you know that you need some of her blood for your rituals.
Yeah, allegedly.
How do you get the blood?
By
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I mean, there's many logical ways one could go about this, but this is Riverdale, so you wouldn't want to take that route.
First answer, best answer.
I just want to know, what was the first thought that popped into your head? How you get that blood?
Why did you laugh?
Because unfortunately, only horrific answers are coming to me.
Yeah, what was the first one? What's the first one?
I think it's part of my disease, and
Please share.
Well, I was gonna say this is not the Riverdale way, but yeah, you know what? I think there is something wrong with me. Every single thing I'm about to say is cursed and haunted.
That's fine. We understand. We understand. No
Apologies to
judgment.
the grandma's listening.
Podcast is
All
cursed and
right,
haunted.
Roberta,
Sorry,
close
Roberta.
your ears.
I love you. Close your ears.
I love you, girl. Okay,
I'll tell you the first idea that popped into my head.
Mm-hmm.
Wait until you know she's on her period and snag one of them used tampons out of the bathroom trash can.
Just easy. Easy. That's a freebie right there.
Literally. That is easy. I was thinking of like a headbutt, and then you get the bloody nose.
Break her
you know,
nose.
you just do a little swipe.
I love that.
Oh, wait, okay. Like, I was with you until the swipe, and I'm not with you.
Stay with me. No.
Just, I would love to.
You gotta stay with me until the swipe.
I would love to know, because in my mind, it's like you're able to just swipe the blood, where you're just like, gotcha, and you just grab it, and it's kind of like the Venom symbiote, where it's kind of just like squiggly a little bit, and you just like walk it back to your car, and then you put it into a mason jar there, or are you using an apparatus to collect the blood?
Just hands.
Just hands.
Just raw hand.
Just raw hands.
You're
just raw palming it.
that blood. Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah, Cheryl went the very convoluted route, or Abigail, the very convoluted route of giving Tony a bouquet of roses.
Yeah.
And saying, "Oh no, there's still thorns on those." When Tony pricks her finger,
And it's a bloody prick. which I have been
Boy.
called quite often when I'm in England.
You're pissing off the English people.
Yeah. You just got us censored in England. Thanks a lot.
It's now mature in the UK.
Yeah, definitely wasn't before. Okay, I think that's a great idea.
The tampon one, though, obviously is the right choice.
Yeah.
It just seems like the easiest one, but you do have to potentially wait, 3 or 4 weeks.
And that is true.
So if you need blood right now because you have to do your ritual on the blood moon, then
I absolutely forgot it was
swipe.
the blood moon until the ritual started. And I was like, oh, yeah, the blood moon. Maybe it's because I'm a Zelda player. And so blood moons are becoming a little regular in my life where I'm just like, another reset of all the
another
monsters.
one.
It made me think of Kingdom Newlands. If anyone's played that game.
No.
Side-scrolling tower defense game, but every blood moon, the monsters it's like a extra strong wave. Doesn't matter.
Oh, no.
I have a question for you, Harper-Rose. Pray tell, what ails you?
Wow.
And you can be honest.
What ails me right now is I wish I didn't watch the wrong episode of this goddamn show that I literally love. That's kind of what's ailing me.
No, it's actually
Harper-Rose.
making this. It's such kismet that the one person I forgot to ask if they'd seen this season already watched the wrong season's episode. It's perfect.
Yeah, no, and I even was like preparing questions on that episode. I was
Wait, can we hear some? Can we hear some?
And then, no, and then, no, we could. And then I knew something was up when I heard Omar go, "Yes, season 6," and I was like, "Let's hope that Omar's in the wrong." And then
Let's hope the co-host of this podcast doesn't know what season they're talking about.
I was like, maybe you're confused. Yeah, no, and newsflash.
Amazing. You're doing very well. You're doing so well. You can also just feel free to answer any question we throw at you with your answer that would be for season 2, episode 9, if you so want.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I do have a question that I kind of want an answer to.
Yeah.
May I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you. What kind of credit card has an $86,000 limit?
Whoa.
Don't remember that?
That's in the club when it gets cut off.
Yeah, Veronica pays off the debt using her mom's card, and the person's like, it has an $86,000 limit. Are you sure? And she's like, yeah, I'm sure. I'm like, what an odd number.
86,000.
But
I mean, the calculations are Byzantine, but I don't know. My credit card limit is like 3,000.
And I like that.
Big spender. Yeah.
Unfortunately, because it's maxed out.
Hey,
Hey, listener,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this podcast has a Patreon or something,
Mm-hmm.
but do you want to give us money? We haven't asked for any money yet. Do you want to just give us? Well, Azzy already asked for money, and I want to get in on that train too.
No, I asked for one person to send me $5.
Okay, I'm going to ask for every single person listening to send me $7,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seems
I
fair.
think those are pretty
That's not knowing your
equivalent.
worth.
If
That's-
everyone
yeah.
who listens to this podcast, according to our data, sends us each $1, we would have. How many listeners do you think we'll have by episode?
Easily
Between-
$4.
At least.
I know
be
my
ours.
parents will listen, so I know that's 2.
Okay.
I got
We know
two at
Roberta's
least.
listening.
Yeah, so we got coverage for at least 2. We could divvy that up.
Yeah, so we can each
We
get
can
$2.
split that evenly.
$2 for each of us. Sorry,
Okay.
Harper-Rose.
And I have 2 stalkers that are definitely going to listen to this.
Oh my
so-
god. Hello,
Oh.
Harper-Rose's stalkers. Harper-Rose's stalkers. Don't do that.
Yeah, maybe cut it.
Stop that.
Like,
Leave our
send
friend alone.
Money.
I think it's fun. Okay.
Okay.
Do you?
Okay, I'm great.
I'm cutting that out.
Don't encourage them. That was a joke, stalkers. Stalkers, you listen to me.
Stalkers.
Harper-Rose was joking. That's a laugh
Yeah.
to keep from crying moment. She doesn't
Yes.
actually think it's fun.
It's
Sometimes,
like when Spider-Man makes jokes. It's a way to deal with the true horrors of life.
yeah, those of us who find ourselves drawn to the world of comedy are often some of the most fucked up and saddest people, and it's the only way we can bear to continue living.
You know, when
So-
people were talking about... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just was going, yes.
Okay.
Just to know-
And I want to support that. When people were like, man, Robin Williams, like, I didn't realize he was so sad. He did so much comedic work. I was like, he also did a lot of dramatic work. So like the logic didn't quite follow for me, where I was like, okay, but you know that like if a person does some comedy at some point, like they also can be sad. It was a very just strange lapse of logic. And then I had to go to my work as a
any
GTA
stand-up
video
comedian.
editor. Those people, I don't know.
Okay. Comedians are sad as a rule.
Yeah.
Not everyone. I know
Not
comedians who are happy.
Wow.
But listener, especially Harper-Rose stalkers, I'd say it's like probably safer to assume that people who do comedy are kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a darkness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it requires it. Like you have to be able to like recognize kind of the absurdity of your own position. You have to be able to have like really clear insight into yourself and into the world around you in order to successfully comede.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, those abilities also tend to lend themselves to like depression and anxiety and shit. So be nice to us and send us $7,000.
Boom. Perfect.
Okay.
Speaking of money, Reggie's dad gambles.
Yeah.
Mhm.
God, can he get it together? It's
Well,
getting big.
unfortunately, he's only got a year left to live.
Yes.
There's right?
Harper-Rose, let's say someone you
No.
loved only had a year left to live.
2 if they're lucky.
2 if they're lucky. And then they like developed, say, a gambling habit and lost your family business in a single night of playing poker with some wise guys. Would you enable this behavior because you're like, in order to be good to this person I love, I have to let them lose everything?
Yeah.
Wow. So the person that I love, it's someone in my family. Okay.
Mhm.
Well,
They don't have to be. I don't want to
I can
assume
add
that you
some-
have any connections with anyone in particular, but just someone that you love, like Reggie
I can add
loves
some
his dad.
additional context. They're not just any wise guys. They're your partner's abuelita's Iceman's wise guys. if
Oh,
that
thank
just
you.
helps.
That's really important.
that really did just kind of clarify everything I've ever needed
Mhm.
Hmm.
in and outside of the question. Yeah.
Mhm.
No.
Are they
When you put it
Geraldo's
like
wise
that-
guys?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, you just kind of have to let them see it through. Because you
Yeah.
can't, okay, no,
Let
wait,
it ride.
you let it, oh, honey, always let it ride. And also, you
Yeah,
can't
totally.
control anyone. You really can't control anyone. And so if they're doing their thing,
Uh-huh.
Oh,
who are you to
That's-
stop them?
Oh, that's really
that's true.
that's an important thing to know about boundaries. Is boundaries are boundaries you set for yourself. They're not boundaries that you then demand other people respect. That is not, you don't have that control. You're just going to stress out your brain. You get to set your boundary and then you respect your boundary. And if someone disrespects your boundary, that's something to take into consideration about them.
Yeah.
And it doesn't
Okay.
have to be a permanent thing, but you can just say they have proven that they don't respect that boundary currently. So I need to protect myself and my peace and do what I need to do. Now there is, of course,
Also, it
if
makes
you-
a good story.
it makes
It-
for
it
and
makes
it
for-
makes for a good story. I think that's the most important thing about boundaries is like what's the
What's the
best
narrative?
narrative?
Yeah. What's the plot going to look like once I set this?
I do
Mhm.
want to say, dear listener, this has been a wonderful discussion of boundaries.
Mhm.
But to get serious for a second,
Okay.
just because your dad might be dead in a year or two because the transplant list is too long
Mhm.
doesn't mean like to make sure he enjoys the rest of his life. I don't think that like you can't stop him from gambling. I think that's true. And
Mhm.
you don't have to let his gambling addiction, the one that drove him to lose your family business to a bunch of wise guys who work for Veronica Lodge's abuelita's Iceman Geraldo,
Mhm.
Yes.
like
Yes.
you don't have to take that as a sign that like I need to cut my dad out of my life now. Like you can still have a relationship with him.
Yeah.
But
That's a-
just because you can't control his actions, you can't
Yeah.
force him to stop gambling. You don't
Mhm.
have to actively support it. And you don't have to shut down your partner who's just trying to point
Yeah.
out that maybe he does have a problem and wants to find a way to help you and him.
I think it's eye-opening to how defensive you are if you're gonna like snap at the messenger, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And listeners, if you were wondering why Riverdale Season 6, the podcast, was in the self-help section, this
Yeah.
is why.
This is it.
Yeah, we try to give really specific. I'm sorry, did I say specific? I meant generalized advice for everybody.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But no,
That and SEO.
As the add an SEO as the generalizable advice, I think what Omar and Harper were saying about your inability to control other people is really
Mhm.
true and important to remember. That's not how boundaries work. They're not something
Yeah.
you impose. However, you do get to decide.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to, as a result, support the decisions that other people make if you don't want to.
Yes.
It's always your choice.
Yes.
How you respond to their decisions.
Yes.
You can't control them, but they can't control you.
Now, you might be out there and you might be saying, listener, but I can control people because I have voice control powers. And
Oh
to
my God, I
that
forgot Percival was
specific-
listening. Fuck.
To that specific person, you are the exception that does prove the rule.
That's so true.
Yeah, because he is controlling the town seemingly to turn them against. He's building a little empire, and turning everyone against each other. How does that
Yeah.
make you feel, Harper-Rose, as a fan of the earlier seasons?
Okay, I mean, yeah, so if I may be so bold,
Mm-hmm.
gonna take a risk here and say it, honey. Really big fan of season 1. Season 2 got kind of crazy. I actually do love season 3, and then
Mhm.
for me, it just kept going down with
Mhm.
love and so yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like the progression of the show, it was hard to watch already. Right out the gate, Riverdale at its best, it's already a tough watch.
Yeah.
It's already
Mhm.
Until
fucking watch. Oh.
season 6.
Until-
Until
yeah,
season
Because
until
you
the
6.
get,
power.
yeah,
When it
Until
finally
they
hits
get
its
those
stride.
powers,
yeah.
Huh? I'm into it then. Yeah.
A bunch of super kids fighting an immortal racist warlock. Come on, what more do you want
Come
from
on.
television?
Honestly, you legally can't ask for more, I'm pretty sure. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Are we missing any storylines? We hit every beat in the episode, right?
Okay,
No.
but
I
Abigail's
still
and
have
a
so many
doll.
more. I still have so many
Abigail's
more.
and a doll. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Unfortunately, Harper-Rose, you didn't watch the right episode, so you can't participate. But I'm going to throw this one to Omar. Fit check, Cheryl Blossom Ghoulie outfit.
Oh my God, yes.
When she firebombs, Archibald, and then throws a Molotov cocktail at Archie.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Bold choice to be in all black in the darkness. I think that she knew that she would catch some light from the fire.
Oh my
It
God,
was
it
a
looks
risk.
great.
It paid off, but it was a risk. Anyone else would have just been a floating head in the night sky.
I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, quick run through some of my favorite lines. When Reggie does blow up at Veronica for pointing out that his dad was thousands and thousands of dollars in the hole, and maybe he has a gambling problem.
Yes.
Your dad killed people and blew up the entire town, and you hung up his portrait. But my dad has a string of bad luck, and you want to bar him from our casino?
Ooh. Wow.
Reggie.
Yeah.
Reggie.
So
was
it's
like-
kind of giving grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of giving grow up. Okay, next favorite line.
Also, in all fairness, too, sorry, not to, I know that we do
Please.
have to blast through these, but like, also, Veronica did have her father killed.
She
I do
did
think
take
that-
out a hit on her
Like,
dad.
I do
Yeah.
think it's a little different where it's like, you want to kick my dad out, whereas your dad did all these bad things and you had him shot in the back of the head 4 times, lit on fire, and put into a shallow grave. And then pictorial
Wait.
evidence was sent to us. And then you
Hypocritical
said
much?
as much within his eulogy. Like, that's so unfair to my dad.
That's so unfair to my dad, who just lost our family business
Yeah.
in one night of playing cards.
Oh.
Okay. We got to cruise though.
We gotta
see you at
cruise.
10 in front of the tuna fish warehouse on the docks.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Okay, I wanted to pause here.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this podcast and
Mhm.
you do improv, or you're interested in it, and there's a good
Mhm.
chance because a lot of the guests are improv people.
Yeah.
This is exactly how you do improv.
That's a hard initiation.
Does it matter that they're in front of the tuna fish warehouse? No. But let me run past you two different lines.
Okay.
See you tonight. See you at 10 in front of the tuna fish warehouse on the docks. Which one feels more real? Which one feels more emotionally impactful? Which one paints a full picture of the world? So just think about that. Specifics are key. Specifics bring writing and improv to life. Okay. So Twyla Twist gets the Sarah Kaplan Textbook Improv Award for this episode.
Yeah, that's very good.
Great. Okay. I have just really I have two more very important lines.
Okay.
This is a line from pod favorite Britannia. I'm living a captive existence here. I'm sure you won't believe me, but Mr. Cheryl is asleep and her ancestor Abigail Blossom has possessed her body and she's been trying to kill people, including you and your friends, on the eve of the blood moon, so Miss Topaz's soul will go into the corpse and Thomasina can be reincarnated into Miss Topaz's empty body.
Yep. Also hard initiation.
Yeah. Hard initiation.
Rock hard.
Yeah. And can I ask you a question, Harper-Rose?
Please.
You've just read the mind of a teenage girl who's living in a mansion with an old woman and your friend who just tried to poison you with scones.
Unfortunately.
And she thinks this panicked at you. How do you respond?
Gotta get in the fetal position.
Okay. Maybe would you have any instincts to maybe try to take that girl out of this mansion and take her to safety?
I mean, look, outside of Riverdale, yes, of course.
Yeah, no, Harper-Rose.
Yeah, no, but in Riverdale, no, gotta add fire to the flame.
Okay.
Like
Interesting.
in Riverdale, someone meets you with crazy, you meet them with insane.
Oh, so you might respond with something like, "Are you going to be okay until the blood moon?"
Right.
You just, well, I guess you're right, because that's exactly what Dearest Jug says.
Game, set, match. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Can I ask you a question, Harper-Rose?
Oh no. Yes.
Let's say one of your friends had been possessed by an ancestral witch of her family line who tried to poison you and such.
Okay.
And she asks you, how many times will you burn me at the stake? What's your answer?
69.
Yeah.
69.
Very funny.
Nice.
Very funny. Hell
The
yeah.
funniest
Oh yeah, we're all
answer.
high-fiving on Zoom.
Big
No one
high-five.
can see us.
High-fiving. Nice.
Nice. That's great. I think that's the correct answer. Betty's response also good. As many times as it takes, bitch. Good
A
line.
rude number, though, is really funny. Imagine if
A
Betty
rude
had been
number,
like
yeah.
420
Hey!
and then burn them and then lit.
Weed, light them up.
Right.
Okay. And one of the last important lines of the episode, Archie, Cheryl, and Jughead are back. They've just burned Abigail at the stake.
Boom.
At least we saved Cheryl from being possessed, so that's a win. Yeah, but Percival got onto the town council.
High stakes.
Hey, wow, so too soon, Omar.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Abigail.
I love the tonal whiplash that this show runs you through. Second
Nothing
by
is
second.
landing. They are affected by nothing.
Yes.
They're like, oh my God, she's dead. Well, I'm a cricket. You're like, what is happening? What's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, we just burned this ancient witch out of our friend's body, and we're pretty sure that she now lives in the doll that used to be maybe possessed by the ghost of Cheryl's dead twin brother, Jason Blossom.
And then they're like, shut up. Anyways, the council. And you're like, can I process? This is why Archie in the first episode, in the first season, was about to have sex with that goddamn teacher because there's just too much going on. You have to do something else crazy to
because
dissociate.
the only guidance counselor in this town is also the Serpent Queen and a member of the Council of Four.
Yeah.
Yes. There we go.
Shout out to the doll, though, taking on aspects to represent that she now houses the body of Abigail.
True.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you're in a glass case, but I do love that.
I have two more important notes, though. I'm so sorry. I keep promising I don't have any. And then we have some important questions for you, Harper-Rose. First, I have the note, who the fuck is this doctor? in response to a doctor who was not Dr. Curdle Jr. popping up on screen. And I was furious until like literally 2 scenes later. Dr. Curdle Jr., there we go.
There he is.
My note was just all caps, Dr. Curdle Jr.
Whose line was, I believe the ghoulies turned their guns on themselves. I love Dr. Curdle Jr.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And that right there, that little slice of life was very much giving daytime soaps that my grandma.
Exactly.
There is something for everyone in Riverdale, and you can't fucking say that there isn't.
That is so true.
It's the best season of television ever made. I'm not going to stop saying this.
Got it. Yeah.
Omar, do you want to run Harper-Rose through some very important questions?
We have some questions for you, and keep in mind there's no wrong answers because the thing is you're going to be giving out a bunch of awards. You're going to be giving some folks their flowers, and if 1 or 2 have some thorns left on and you want to collect their blood so that you can do a ritual, totally up to you.
That's allowed.
It's the real bloody thumb. As if like you were checking Tony Topaz for like Tony Topaz's sugar. So the first one we've got was proposed by our first guest, Oscar Montoya. This is the Sin Pie Award. It is who ate their scene, left no crumbs, who absolutely destroyed this episode. And if you need to, you can award someone from season 2, episode 9, because I know that is the episode you watched.
I'm gonna be honest. Every question you're asking me, we're gonna relate it to the one that I just watched.
Perfect. Yeah, that's correct.
If she's like anything like I remember, it's gonna have to be Veronica, because the bitch always eats. She clears her plate every single scene.
She does.
It's Veronica up and down.
Oh,
season 2, Veronica.
On that note,
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, Harper-Rose, it's a shame you were never cast as like Veronica Lodge's sister, because you would have been a perfect Lodge girl.
That really means a lot, and thank you so much, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I start crying. You're like, what?
I don't know what to do. Harper-Rose is just weeping
in the fetal
Zoom.
position.
You're like, okay.
There's a lot of crying on this episode.
Harper-Rose. Next is the Ross Bryant Notice Me Senpai Award.
Okay.
And what character in Riverdale Season 6 or Season 2, Episode 9 would you most like to notice you?
Well, unfortunately, it's not for season 6, but the Black Hood. That's why I wanted to notice.
Oh, the Black Hood.
Really?
Yeah.
Pourquoi?
Because I am trying to not pay my phone bill anymore. So I just think it would just be like a nice, like kind of like easy out. And
Okay.
I think it would just kind of add like my lore is ever expanding, and I think this would be like a really cool final edition.
Okay, so you want to go out. You want to go out with like a strangle.
Yes, honey. Yeah. And I love an element of surprise. Also, fun fact, and then we're going to get right back into it. When I was 19 and I first moved to LA, a psychic did tell me I was going to be brutally murdered.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's a fucked up thing to tell someone.
Hold on. I'm so sorry. Like we do need to blast past this. I mean, for many reasons, but like, the psychic said this would happen and then didn't lend their powers to like give you information or stop it.
She was holding my hands, and right when she touches my hand, she goes, "I'm so sorry." And I was like, "What? Why?" And she was just like, "Oh my God, by the time you're 50 years old, you're going to be brutally murdered."
By the time.
Yeah,
So
that wording is curious.
Yeah.
And didn't give you any other information.
No.
The homie on Psych doesn't have actual psych powers and still has more psychic like prowess.
Omar,
Shout out Psych.
Omar,
Shout out Psych.
I don't know. I know that you shop at a certain bleeped out emporium, but
yeah, we'll keep the emporium part. But yeah, here's a certain magic shop, magic with a K.
Here's my position on this.
Yeah.
I don't think the psychic that Harper-Rose saw has real psychic powers either.
Okay.
I have
Suddenly,
a
all my life choices are becoming questionable.
Here's the thing: if I am a psychic and I got a young girl, I'm gonna lead with something huge like that because
Yeah.
first of all, boom, immediately breaking your like critical thinking faculties. You're like so thrown off for the rest of the session. I can do whatever you want,
I
and
was
you're not gonna
completely
be
dissolved.
analyzing.
Yeah.
Or if you like fully buy in, I'm like, shit, I got myself a big fish here. Then I'm like, I think I can get you that information, but it's gonna take some more sessions. And ooh, maybe the force of evil is so strong, it's going to take a lot of preparation to combat it. You might have to pay $10,000 for this sort of special object that I need. And I think it's a brilliant way to like filter out possible marks and set yourself up for a perfect con.
So, listeners, if you're on Venice Beach and you see a booth that Sarah is running,
you should come. You should come. You should trust me.
Yeah,
I'm actually feeling
$10,000.
I'm feeling a really strong communion with the spirits right now, listeners. So if you happen to see me running a booth, I'm sorry for whatever I'm about to tell you, but it is true, and you should do everything I say.
I will say a holy man on Ventura Boulevard did tell me that my life would turn around in May, that things were tough, but it would turn around. And that's when we started recording the podcast.
Well, he was obviously a real holy man, and I believe that.
He was. And also when I said I didn't have any cash on me to like give to him, he was disappointed, but he was like, I get it. And he gave me a little stone and I carry it to this day in my wallet.
That's very cute. That's the other thing about like, look, I'm kind of like a total skeptic about everything. It's just my nature. But I have thought if someone had real magic powers, it's like unethical to charge for them.
Yeah, I think that's true. I would agree. Yeah. Harper-Rose, can I just say, if I was a psychic, which I don't, sometimes I do have like little things like I can guess like what McDonald's toy I'm going to get. But like if I was a psychic and
is there a more useful power?
And I met you and you offered to me your hands for prediction purposes, you know what I would say to you? I would say, welcome to Los Angeles. We're lucky to have you.
That's so nice, Omar.
Omar, that was really tender and wholesome. And honestly, maybe things would be a lot different if, you know, you would have been the psychic when I was 19.
and Harper-Rose, if I'd been the psychic,
oh no,
who had the chance to grasp your hands that dark and lonely night on the corner of Hollywood and Vine, I would have said, "No, the blood is everywhere."
And honestly, that is so close to what actually happened. We would have been just right on track.
Oh, perfect.
Well,
how about you,
that's
Azzy?
actually that's the reason I would say that.
What would have been my
I would want to make sure.
reason?
I would want to make sure you were on track to end up on this episode with us because we've had so much
I would have
fun.
thrown you off. Yeah.
Oh my dang! So you're coming up.
Azzy, what would your reading for Harper-Rose have been?
Wow. Yeah, you come into my booth, it's like a weird amber. All the it's like,
which is the color of your energy, in all fairness.
It's like ambers and like kind of like a weird yellowish green, all the tapestries and everything. You sit down and I've got like a crystal ball the size of like your head.
Whoa. In the exact shape as well, or just
my
size?
God, it is your head?
Exact shape. It's your head. And you reach out your hands, and I take your hands, and I go, yeah, I think this will be probably good.
Okay. Yes.
You have
Azzy, the anticlimactic psychic.
Like the slow nod.
Yeah,
with a crystal head that is exactly your head, Harper-Rose. And the prediction is, I think this will be all right, I guess.
Honestly, great sketch character.
Yeah, that adds up.
Amazing.
And Harper-Rose,
we have some more awards to hand out.
We got more awards to hand out.
Okay, let's go.
It's hard to follow up Azzy's prediction with this one, but this is, you get to give out the Brita Award, the Britannia Award, and this award goes out to any specific moment that made you ask the question, what?
Okay, according to Reddit. Okay.
Mhm.
Well. Okay. Wow. Well, okay. So if we're going off of the episode that I watched, which again is season 2, episode 9,
Mhm.
we're all paying attention to that. It would have to be when Archie gets into the coffin and the fake Black Hood is like, hey, you got to get into this coffin or I'm going to blow Betty's head off. And then he gets in the coffin. He goes, okay, start filling it up. And everyone knows if your loved one gets into a coffin and you have to pretend to like bury your person alive, you don't start at the head, you start at the feet, you idiot. God, then that's why Betty doesn't eat her scenes because she's a goddamn fool. Anyway,
I love watching Azzy's face as you describe this episode because she has not seen the first 5 seasons.
Yeah, well, honey, it was going down in
Azzy,
season 2, episode 9.
Did you think the show was normal through season 5?
Oh no.
I love this because like if I were like this horrible person, I would be like I would see Betty scooping the dirt onto Archie's feet first. I'm like, hey, I know what's up.
Yeah. Start with
At
the
least-
head. Start with the head.
Start with the head. Feet last.
You go feet first because when you're doing the head, it's like, come on. And then the dirt is going to trickle in through the wooden slates. Like, I
Mhm.
can't.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, being buried alive is probably my worst nightmare.
Mm,
Okay.
mm.
Yeah.
Mine is getting rejected by A24.
Oh.
Because then what else is there?
Nothing
Yeah.
else. Oh, monkey
Yeah.
paw. There's monkey paw.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, never mind. It is buried alive. It's back to being buried alive.
Yeah.
And lastly, we have an award to give out, but it's not really an award. Would you like to present it, Sarah?
Yes, this is the Dan Lippert Award for Can You Make a Prediction About What Happens? But you've already seen the season, so don't be too specific. Oh, I know. You haven't seen season 7. Can you make a prediction for what happens in season
I've
7?
not. Okay. I predict that. Okay. I predict that Archie is going to lose his powers. He's going to get a buzz cut.
Oh.
I think Veronica and Betty are going to sexually experiment.
Oh.
That's actually
again?
true. That
Question mark?
straight up does happen in season 7.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Is
Okay.
it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I should have been in that writer's room or whatever you want to call that room that not much writing was happening in.
The genius room.
Yeah, and then I think we might see some aliens.
Okay.
Beautiful.
I
Yeah,
love
because
that.
we're seeing everything else. Why not aliens?
I think we
Mhm.
already
Why
had
not?
aliens in season 4 or 5.
Did really?
Yeah.
Well,
But-
they're coming back. Dang, that's my
They're coming
prediction. They're
back.
coming back.
They're coming back.
That's fine. That's really fun. I'm glad you didn't predict anything insane like we're back in the 1950s and the only one who remembers anything that's happened is Jughead and everyone's in high school again.
But it's almost like that's a real episode, isn't it?
It's
Hmm?
almost like it's the
Could
entire
be a whole
season.
Yeah.
That's the final award. And I want to give you an award, Harper-Rose,
Whoa.
for being such a fun and amazing guest. Thank you
Yeah.
so much
Oh.
for coming and talking to us about our favorite show.
This was so much fun. Thank you so much for having me on. Sorry again for watching the wrong episode.
No, it was
Never
actually
apologize.
it was the correct choice.
Yeah.
I just thought I would add some pizzazz, you know?
Yeah, we've covered season 6 for too long, I say.
Yeah,
Every episode
Season
has been
two,
getting
come on.
exponentially more crazy, so
Yep.
I'm glad.
we keep telling our audience you don't have to watch any previous seasons of Riverdale, and I'm glad that we keep them on their toes because that was not true this episode.
Yeah, audience, did you not specifically watch season 2, episode 9? Yeah.
This was in our ARG.
There's always an exception to the rule, and season 2, episode 9 is the exception. Goodness. Harper-Rose, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. Are there places folks can like keep up to date where your stand-up will be performed, when it'll be performed?
Hired you for
shows you've got
Zoom
coming up?
stand up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, just everything's on my haunted and sinful Instagram, Harper-Rose D.
There it is.
If you didn't like me, then you can just block me, and that's also fine and cool too. So
Seek
Yeah.
you out and block you. Yeah.
Specifically Harper-Rose's stalkers, please do that.
Actually do that. That would
Actually
be great.
do that.
Actually, at this point, I'm literally begging. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Please do that. Azzy, where can people find you?
People can find me on Instagram at I need Azrael, Azrael. You can go follow the podcast at Riverdale 6 Pod on Instagram. And you know what, Sarah, you mentioned it. Maybe I'll set up a Patreon. Who knows?
Ooh.
You'll find stuff on our Instagram. That's the hub.
Yeah. I'm Sarah Kaplan. You can find me on Instagram at Sarah Rose Kaplan because, of course, I share a middle name with the lovely Harper-Rose. And you can follow me on Instagram to see my improv stuff. I teach improv workshops. And I don't know when these episodes are coming out, but if the timing's right, you can see me doing some TTRPG-inspired improv at Gen Con with Ross Bryant and Mary Lou, both former guests of the pod. It's going to be a super fun time. And if it's not, if this episode's like coming out after that and you can't see us, then just Venmo me $7,000 to make up for it.
Easy.
literally.
At Sarah Kaplan Improv
On
Venmo.
And I'm Omar Najam. You can find me at Omar Najam Film on Instagram. And over at FN Funny's channel, we got a lot of fun stuff going on. We talked about some 1v1, which at this point should be up and running and going and in the process. And if not, that's a little note on procrastination I have to reflect on personally. And I'm very excited to see kind of where we continue and maybe if possibly some characters from another show will join us next week.
Ooh.
Not as guests. I mean, as do you know what I mean? Like as like from another,
In
like the
show.
spinoffs are connecting
In the show.
In the show, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, no, that would be okay. Or maybe I got that backwards. You'll have to listen next week to find out when we'll be joined by stand-up comedian and TTRPG GM extraordinaire Jared Logan. But this has been Riverdale Season 6 pod with our amazing guest Harper-Rose. And I guess we're going to end this week like we do every week, Omar.
Okay.
Yeah. How about a little... Bye.